Hello students. So students, is in today's class we are going to study the topic that is evolution, and this topic is we are going to study under the name that's very famous name that's we all know, Darwin's theory of evolution. Okay, so let me take you further to the next slide. Before going that, students, please don't forget this name, that's Darwin's theory of the evolution, because this theory, when we study the evolution, so this name must be there. Okay, so students, here we have the few points. Under these points we are going to elaborate. First of all, under the evolution theory, what we are going to get here. Okay, so isn't it, students, as you can see here, the evolution is the inheritable changes that takes place in biological population. So what is evolution? Evolution is basically inheritable changes, right? So the next one here we have, that's these changes takes place over successive generation. So we'll further call, so these changes are basically is in the successive mode of the generation. Okay, so the various organisms are related to their ancestors. Of course, we all also are, right, but have accumulated several several changes with the time. So that's very important. So under this point, students, here we can understand that various organisms are there and that are related to their ancestors. Of course, we also are related from our ancestors, right? Accumulated several changes with, of course, the period of a time. Okay, so here we have the next one. The theory of the evolution explains that all species are related with one another. Okay, so the theory of evolution explains us all the species are almost related to one another but have undergone gradual changes over time. Okay, so the last point we have here, the student, that's theory of the evolution was given by Charles Darwin. So as I told you, don't forget this name, because theory of evolution that's given by the Charles Darwin, right? So here is in this picture, students, you can see some of the flow, the different organisms are there. Isn't that trees also there, the microorganisms also there. Okay, and the other animals are there. So they have reached to a certain level by the process of the evolution. Okay, so we will be elaborating the same thing as in this today's class. Okay, so as you can see, we are here, the mammals are here, reptiles, birds, right, amphibians. Okay, so these are the different organisms here is in this picture. Okay, so let me take you further. So isn't it, we are going to study about the Darwin's theory of evolution. So what was the Darwin's theory of the evolution? Okay, so here we have the first point, isn't it? This theory of evolution was proposed by Charles Darwin. Okay, is in the mid of 90th century. Okay, so students, this theory of course was proposed by the Charles Darwin. Okay, and that was a time, that was a period, that was mid 19th century. Okay, so he proposed this concept in his book. So there was a famous book, the book name is on the origin of species, right? So he proposed this concept in his book, right? So the book name is the On Origin of Species, right? So Darwin theory was based on the principle of natural selection. So that's very important, so don't forget it. So Darwin's theory was basically, students, on the principle of the natural selection, right? So Darwin was basically the naturalistic kind of scientist he was, okay, and biologist, of course, right? So his theory was on the principle of natural selection. Okay, so the theory of the evolution was based on the numerous natural observations of plants, animals with their related ancestors through study of fossils. So how Darwin basically studied all these things. So isn't the theory of the evolution, students, Darwin studied numerous of natural observation of the plants, animals and their related ancestors. So that's very important. Okay, and he also got the information from the study of the fossils. Okay, so let me take you further. So here, as you can see, the great scientist, the great biologist, the great that's we call the naturalist and enthusiast biologist, here you can see is in this picture, Charles Darwin. Okay, so here the Charles Darwin was a naturalist and an enthusiast biologist, right? So he took a 5 years of wake on his ship, right? And his ship name was HMS Beagle, okay, which allowed him to observe several organisms is in their surroundings. Okay, so there was a different kind of ship estimates at that period of time. Okay, so is in the period of time Darwin basically took a 5 years of wake by that ship, and the ship name was HMS Beagle. Okay, so this was a ship in which Charles Darwin sailed around the world. Okay, so here we have the next point. So he studied in detail the geographical distribution of organisms and fossils. Okay, then after students, here as you can see, in 1838 Darwin conceived finally, okay, his theory, basically that's a natural selection. Okay, so is in 1838 Darwin conceived, okay, that's here conceived mean to say he just got the imagination, his theory that's on the natural selection. Okay, so let me take you further now students, and here is in this picture as you can see the same picture of the particular kind of ship which Charles Darwin sailed that's around the world. So that is HMS Beagle. Okay, so this picture is that here, right? So and the pathway is also there, students. So is in the period of the wake, the pathway of HMS Beagle was this one. So as this is in this picture, as you can see, this red mark here, that's like giving you the kind of like pathway of the wake that's basically taken by took by HMS, that's HMS Beagle, of course, along with the Darwin's also there, right? So let me take you further now, and students, is in this slide as you can see the theory of the evolution proposed by the Darwin. So that's we have studied very well, that's we now got to know. Okay, and isn't that Darwin stated that all the different species of the organisms arise through the process of natural selection. Okay, so isn't the theory of the evolution of the Darwin's, right? He stated that all the different species of the organisms arise through this process of the natural selection. And the next point we have here, the natural selection allowed the organisms to inherit variations or modifications in order to better suited them. So that's again very important points, because we know that students is in the natural selection. Okay, so that's how allowed the organism to inherit variations or the modification in order to better suited them to present is in the surrounding, to be present, to survive is in the surrounding, right? So is in this manner we can able to understand this point here. Okay, now we have the next point. So these variations increased these organisms' chances and ability to survive. Okay, when the variation been there, so because of that variation, so the chances of the survival of those organisms, that's, and of course the ability to survive, that's compete and reproduce, so that's increased. Okay, so that's again very important point. So here the Darwin proposed his theory of evolution based on the different properties of natural selection, so which are basically we have given here. So that's overproduction, right? The first one. Second one we have the heredity and the variation. Third one we have the origin of species. So let me take you further is in this step-by-step learning module. So first of all we'll study the overproduction. Okay, here the overproduction mean to say what? So we know students here overproduction basically that's kind of reproductive nature of the organism, right? So according to the reproductive nature of the organism, right, so organisms basically produce large number of offspring, okay, mean to say their babies, which ensures the continuity of the generations. Okay, so that's first point. Is in the second point, students, we have the plants are known to produce enormous amounts of seeds, pollen grains. Likewise, animals also give rise to maximum number of young ones to continue their race. So that's we call the overproduction. Okay, so the large number of the organisms further compete to their basic necessities, and fittest to of all survive. So is in this manner, so the organisms are is in the large number of course, and further they compete to each other, okay, on the basis of necessities, and fittest to all survives. Okay, Now we have the next point. So the most fittest then continues to transfer the genes to the next generation. Okay, and next we have the final point here. This brings about the variation is in the genetic nature of an organism. Okay, so students, is in this manner we can able to understand when the variation takes place, okay, for the survival purpose, for the basic necessities, or to be fittest is in the all the survive. So isn't this way the basically that's we call the genetic variation also happens. Okay, so here is in this picture, as you can see, the overproduction kind of like message is in this. Okay, so isn't this way we can able to understand how the overproduction different like species or the different like organisms they do. Okay, so of course this point I hope that been clear to you now, and now we have the next one, which is called the variations and the heredity. Okay, so under the variations and the heredity, students, we are having the first point here, that's in organisms several chances occur in inheritable traits, okay, or the inheritable, that's basically heritable traits or inheritable characteristics. Okay, these heritable traits form the basic or the basics of the evolution. Okay, so let me tell you, students, here the heritable basically means to say, when we say the heritable, so its basic meaning to say, student, that it's a amount of all biological process basically, okay, which transmit from particular characteristic from like parent to the offspring. Okay, so the particular kind of characteristic that's transferred from the parent to the offspring, to the baby's one. Okay, so that's we call the heritable traits. Okay, and when we say the inheritable characteristic, so inheritable, this is the kind of characteristic, students, which the organism has got from the parents. Okay, so that's we call the inherited characteristic. Okay, so these heritable traits form the basic of the, that's the basis of the evolution, of course, right? So now we have the next point, the observable traits which consist the structure and the behavior of the organism is called phenotype. Okay, so the traits which we can observe, so that's we known as a phenotype. Okay, so these traits basically come from the interaction of these genotypes with the environment and allows the heritable traits to pass the one generation to the next via DNA or genetic molecules. So here, students, as you can see here is in this line, under this point we have the trait come basically from the interaction of the genotype, of course, on the base of the that's we call the molecular level, okay, with the environment, and allows the heritable traits to pass from one generation to the other and via that's basically next via DNA or genetic molecule. Okay, if there is enough genetic variations within a population, so it brings about evolution further. Okay, so the variation arises from the reshuffling of genes. So how the variation arises basically because of the reshuffling of the genes, right, students? So here the exchange of the genes, you can say, through the sexual reproduction and the migration, of course. So that's very important here, isn't the variation when we say okay, and between the population or through mutation. So there is a process that's we call the mutation process. Okay, so that's will be studied. So mutation, it's basically a kind of process is in which the alteration is in the genes basically happens in the genome of an organisms. Okay, so thus in due course an individual organism phenotype result from both its genotype as well as influence from the environment it has lived in. Okay, so let me take you further now. So here is in this picture, as you can see, the like variations, how the variations basically has taken place. Okay, so the different colors of the cat, as you can see here, and the different sizes of the like giraffe, as you can see here. So these all changes happen because of the survival need, of course, because of the like reason to fit is in the certain like area, okay, or certain like what we call a species. Okay, so this is the basic like what we call reason that's a basic changes in the variation, because this thing happens because of the change in the variation, right? So this been only possible because of the variation. So as you can see how and why the neck of this giraffe been so much of long, okay, how and why the size of the giraffe been changed. Okay, so that's very important point. Okay, now students will be studying the sources of the variation. So what are those different sources of the variations? We'll be studying that. Okay, so first point here under that, genetic variations within the population brings the important evolutionary changes in a population. Okay, so this is the first point. And the next one is here, that's very important. One of the major sources of the variation is a mutation. So we'll be studying the mutation is in much detail. So let me tell you the little bit idea of the mutation. When we say the mutation, basically, so it's a basically is a kind of alteration that takes place is in the genome, that set of genes basically. So that's we call the mutation. Okay, so here is in this picture, as you can see, when the alteration or when any kind of like alteration takes place is in the molecular level, that's is in the DNA. So that's we call the mutation. So here, because of the mutation, the change is in the DNA that's present. So here, like just getting the visual of this like picture, you can able to see here how the alteration, because of the alteration, the change of the flower, the shape and the basically the size of this like rat tail. Okay, so these things happen. Okay, now we'll be studying the mutation in little detail point wise. So mutation can be defined as a change, as the changes or alteration is in the DNA sequence of a genome. So that's we call the mutation, as I told you. Okay, so in a population of organism, mutation can arise randomly or abruptly. So please keep in mind. So the mutation is not the what we call, it's not just a continuous process. Sometimes it's like happens randomly and sometimes it abruptly happen. Okay, so that's the drastic change you can say. Okay, so now we have the next one. So they may alter the result of gene. Okay, so that's molecular level of course, or prevent the gene from functioning. Sometimes this thing also happens. Okay, so the prevent gene from happening, okay, and functioning mean to say, or even have no effect, right? When a duplicate copy of an ancestral gene mutates, mean to say here, when there is alteration is in the duplicate copy of the ancestral gene and acquires a new function, so is in this manner it gives rise a new gene is in this way. Okay, now we have the next point, student. The ultimate source of all genetic variations is a mutation, and it provides the raw material on which the evolutionary forces such as natural selection can act. Okay, so let's move further now. So hope you have understood that one. So now we have the origin of a species. So isn't this picture, students, as you can see, we are having different colors of the butterflies. So under the origin of species, we are having here 4 points. So the first point tells here the various heritable changes along with the environmental. Okay, environmental conditions shape up the characteristic of an organism. So we can say, students, whatever the various heritable changes are there, along with the environmental also, that's also having a role is in the what we call changes in the characteristic. Okay, so environmental conditions shape of the characteristic of an organism. Okay, now we have the second next point, that second point. So as these changes accumulate, and then after these changes slowly accumulate, and newer species arise from the already existing species, right? So within a population, the change in a species takes place as a result of the balance of hereditary characteristic that shift across that population. Okay, now we have last point. So this result is in the formation of a new species. Then after what happened, this further results is in the formation of the new species with a few altered modification, right? So because of that change, few altered modification we can see there is in this new species. Okay, and that the ancestral species, and is in this manner we call that the ancestral species. So is in this picture, students, as you can see, we have like 3 pictures here. Okay, is in the first one you can see there is a bird, and there is a different shapes of the birds, like the finches of the birds are is in the different shapes. Okay, so let me tell you, students, this bird name is Geospiza. Basically it has come from the same ancestral background, but because of the mutation process, because of the variation, because of the change alteration, So there is a big change is in the because of the survival need. So there is a big change is in the like beak or the finches of this bird. Okay, so Darwin has studied on it during his visit to Galapagos and Archipelago. He found that this kind of variation happens basically. He also studied and found further that's on the different organism and different animals as also. So as in the second picture, as you can see, we are having possum versus opossum. So these, like, of course, also has come from the same ancestral background. And as in the third one, of course, we are here, as you can see, the Homo sapiens. Okay, so that's also having the different evolution history. Okay, so let me take you further now, students. Is in this picture, as you can see, we have the origin of like life. Okay, from the origin of course, the earth or the sun ignites, then earth forms, and then after moon, of course, then prokaryotes, eukaryotes, a whole like what we call the evolution process is there. Okay, is in this picture. Okay, till the Homo sapiens, of course. Okay, so isn't this way you can simply able to understand how, because of the mutation, because of the alteration to the molecular level, so the changes happens, the variations happens. Okay, and isn't this way the evolution process, it's like keep on. Okay, so evidences of evolution. So now we are going to study about some of the evidences of the evolution. So evolution is a continuous process, okay, which occurs through different time and scale, of course. Okay, so here we have the next one. So the present day evolution of the organisms can be tracked back through several evidences of evolution. So these evidences are known as evidences of evolution, of course. Okay, so the important evidences of evolutions are the first one that's we call direct observation, the second we call the fossil records, the third we call the anatomy and embryology, and fourth we call that's molecular biology. Okay, so these are the evidences that we are going to study. So first we have the direct observations. So isn't this picture, students, as you can see here, that's the visual you can see. So let me explain it now is the point wise. So here the direct observation of the evolution can be made through the observation. Okay, because of your observation only you can able to find out how the evolution taking place. Okay, of the process of the evolution taking place is in this certain environment. Okay, so it can be explained by the example of, so here we have produced the example. So isn't this example you can use the like DDT. Okay, it's a kind of pesticides to eradicate malaria. Okay, so what happened, though the initial stage, basically the population of the mosquitoes were affected, of course, okay, by the pesticide that's we call the DDT. Okay, but with the period of time the DDT become less effective. Why? On the mosquitoes. Why? So that's a question. So this led to survival of more mosquitoes. Okay, so because those mosquitoes have like inbuilt is in their molecular level, is in the DNA level, because of the DDT effects. Okay, so they have made is in their DNA some changes, that's because the drastic change is in their DNA level. Okay, that molecular level, they resist those kind of pesticides. Okay, thus it can be said the mosquito population evolved resistance against the pesticide, that's DDT. Okay, students, so here as you can see is in this picture. Okay, so let me take you further now. We have here the fossils record. So is in this picture, students, we have 2 points here. So is in this picture, as you can see, Darwin studied the organisms who were based on the survival of organisms is in their surrounding and fossil records. So on the base of the fossil record, he studied and found that yes, as in this manner he got how like fossil records helps him to know, to understand the evolution process. Okay, so fossil records includes a progression from early biogenic graphite, microbial mad fossils, and fossilized structure of the multicellular organisms. So on the base of this, Darwin studied and found the evolution process. Okay, now we have the anatomy, and that's we call the embryology. So here, students, we have these points. The first one is according to the Darwin process of the evolution takes place in which the species change and they eventually give rise a new species over many generations. Okay, now we have next one. So the modern day organisms are descendants of common ancestor, of course. So we can say the ancestors we are descendant of the common ancestors. Okay, so the more closely related species are known to be share the most recent ancestor, of course, right? So the species share the common links, which can be is in the form of the structure, genes, or behaviors such as analogous. So analogous mean to say that's structure, and homologous, analogous means to say that's having the same kind of function. When we say the homologous, so homologous mean to say when that's the visual is same, okay, that's look is same, the feature is same, that's we call the homologous. Okay, so this can be explained by the example where all the vertebrate embryos including humans also there, so they possess the gill slit and the tail during the early development. So under the anatomy, students, so and the embryology, so here let me tell you the meaning of the anatomy. Basically it's called the body structure. Basically when we say the anatomy, so it's basically on the basis of the body structure, so we have got to know the evolution process, of course. Okay, and then after embryology is basically it's a kind of like what we call the branch of biology and medicine, of course, that's concerned with the embryo development of okay. So on the basis of that, so Darwin studied the evolution process. So here is in this picture, students, as you can see, we are having these pictures. Is in the first one, this one we call the bird's wing, and this is the bat wing, which like quite different from each other, but the functions are same here. So this is called the that's we call the analogous organs. Okay, when we say the analogous organs, students, so is in this way they looks different but the functions are same. But when we say the homologous, so these are the homologous organs, so they look similar. Okay, they look similar here, okay, but their functions are different. So this is the, as you can see, human hand, this is a dog, and this is a bird, and this is the whale. Okay, so these all, like when we say the homologous, so homologous basically what? So homologous, that's look similar but having different functions. Okay, so let me take you further now. So here we have the molecular biologies. In the molecular biology, students, we have this point. So molecules such as DNA, okay, and gene exhibit similarities and exhibit to share common ancestry. Okay, so that's on the basic level of the molecules, we can say that's a DNA level. So the line of evidence of the molecular biology suggests shared features is in the biological molecules is in terms of the genetic material, okay, codes and proteins synthesized, right, students? Now we have the next one. According to this, all the organisms share some similarities is in their genetic material. So the organism basically shares some what we call similarities, of course, is in their genetic materials. Okay, students, so is in this picture, as you can see, we are having the DNA, that's molecular level, of course. So is in this way, students, we can further conclude that our whole study of today's class, that's today's session. So the theory of evolution given by the Darwin is one of the most accepted theories regarding evolutionary process that works to shape up the development of a species of organisms. Okay, so next we have the theory of the evolution is based on the various lines of the evidence that derive the fact that the evolution is a continuous process, of course. So that's very important, and we must have to keep in mind that. So natural selection appears as a prime factor of the evolution. So on the basis of the Darwin's theory of the evolution, he said the natural selection appears as the prime factor. Okay, now we have the next point, that's thus Darwin defined evolution as a descent with modification, of course. So there is a descent, of course. Okay, we are come from the common ancestor, of course, but there are the modification on and on. Okay, so as in this way, students, I'll say thank you so much, and that's all about